15 September 2020, and I'm joined by Mr. Khaliphani Phugeni, spokesman for the MDCT, led by Dr. Thokozani Kupe. How are you, sir?
I'm okay. How are you, Mr. Kambakwe, and the listeners at home and wherever they are?
Fantastic. And I would like to give you an opportunity to just say anything you want to say before we get started, following up from our previous discussions.
No, let's just get down to business. And I'm sure that data is a big issue, so let's save our listeners the trouble and let's just get into it.
Okay, fantastic. So today I want us to quickly discuss the recalls. The MDCT has recalled councillors in Harare, 11 councillors, in Bulawayo, I think about 8 councillors, in Gwanda, 1 councillor, and in Bedbridge, you've recalled, I think, another councillor or the mayor of Bedbridge. And also the deputy mayor of Bulawayo, if I'm not mistaken, and the deputy mayor of Harare, they've been recalled. Can you give us more details about what's happening there?
Okay. I'm going to take you back to pre-31 July 2020, because it's going to be important for the nation to understand what exactly is happening here. You remember that pre-31 July 2020, I think it's Hopewell, Hopewell exposed what became very clear to everyone, that it was serious government corruption on COVID-19 related money and medical supplies and all those things. So then there was an outcry, and then 31 July was slotted as a day or a date when the country must go on a strike or on some action to combat corruption or to highlight corruption. You will remember how much pressure we faced when you guys wanted us to be part of the action, and we said, no, we can't, because COVID is a deadly disease. Unfortunately, ZANU-PF panicked, and in their panic, they arrested a legally known politician and with a larger-than-life person in Mkoma Hopewell. And of course, Britain was very much alarmed, and America, because you know all that's Hopewell's network, all of that. So the cry stopped being one of corruption, and it turned out to be now about human rights. But we never lost focus, because you will recall that Dr. Tsvangirai, in one of the terms, when we were elected as the council in Chitungitsa, under Dr. Tsvangirai, we fired all the councillors there on the account of corruption. So while you guys were now caught up in this human rights crises, abuses, excesses, we had our eyes on the ball with regards to corruption. We were advised by legal counsel that there were 6 councillors in Harare that faced serious charges with regards to corruption. And our call was made easy by the fact that they had since also declared that they are no longer members of MDCT. So we say to ourselves, first of all, they are not our members. But even if they were our members, we're going to act, and act quickly, because the charges which they faced were serious with regards to corruption, and were serious about corruption. So we recalled those 6. After recalling those 6, which included the mayor of Harare, the former mayor of Harare, after recalling those 6, it is then that the alliance came up with this term that is called a recall proof. By the way, there is no such a thing as recall proof. But anyway, they came up with this term, recall proof, because if you then believe in that theory, it means that you agree that there's an alliance agreement. And if you agree that there's an alliance agreement, then you know that that agreement says when a party recalls a mayor, it's the same party that replaces a mayor. So you would know now that they've breached that agreement, which then gives us the right to almost terminate it and not be bound by it. And then we are then able to basically even recall the very same mayor that they think they've elected. But anyway, the point I'm making is we recalled 6 councillors on account of serious allegations of corruption, which our lawyers deemed to be credible allegations. We recalled them. After we recalled them, then that whole thing, so-called recall proof, then they went that direction, and then you had all those, the other 11 that we recalled yesterday, now claiming that they are no longer members of the MTCT. They are now members of the alliance. They now have their mayor. So we needed to act. Otherwise, we're going to have free radicals in council, and we're not going to be able to monitor and supervise service delivery to our people.
Okay. So, Mr. Phugeni, I want to start with a question that has been asked by someone in the comment section. They say, have you not caused chaos in the councils by recalling so many people at once?
No, we haven't caused chaos, because the whole reason why I gave you that background was for you to appreciate the position we found ourselves in. We recalled on account of corruption because we thought the nation was serious against corruption. And indeed, as a party, historically, I brought up the Chitungiza issue to show you that historically we are serious about corruption. We act on allegations of credible allegations of corruption. So we acted on those bases. And then you had this whole thing of people saying, we're free radicals now, we'll do as we please. So we needed to act. Let me give you a practical example for you to appreciate why we're to do in the manner we did. You will recall that people were dying in Luveve. That's a constituency in Bulawayo. So there was an outcry that they are dying as a result of contaminated water from the city council. Madam President, Dr. Kupe, made up what she called a special task team, which included myself and the Secretary for Local Government, Honorable Chiwondeko, and the Provincial Secretary for Bulawayo, Honorable Nomvula Mkuni. We went to Luveve. When we got to Luveve, we interacted with residents. After interacting with residents, we then called the mayor and his team, and we said to the mayor, as early as 2 days from our meeting, we want you in Luveve, and we want you to go and meet the residents, listen to them, attend to their worries, their cries, and their requests. And you know that that issue has been successfully arrested. There's no more issue now in Luveve. Yes, there may be here and there, but you know that whatever was happening there, people are no longer dying. There's no more outcry of that contaminated water. You remember again that 2 weeks ago, I went to Gwanda. When I got there, I called all our deployees in Gwanda. I sat with the Honorable Member of Parliament, Honorable Lindwe Maphosa. I had a meeting with her, with my assistant from my office and someone from the province. After meeting her, I then had a meeting with the mayor, with the then mayor. And I insisted that in that meeting, Honorable Lindwe Maphosa sits in that meeting. After that, I then had a meeting with all the councillors, including the Honorable Member of Parliament and his then worship, the mayor. We all agreed that we need to prioritize service delivery to our people. We came up with means and plans on how to raise funds to assist in making sure that the plans we are coming up with can be speedily implemented and service delivery is realized. We then took pictures. When I left Gwanda on Sunday, that Sunday, everything was okay. Monday morning, I started to hear that the mayor is saying there is no such thing. He just came just to listen to me, which I wonder If a ZANU person goes to call our people, will our people attend? Obviously, they won't attend. If a ZAPU a leader comes to call, say, alliance deployees, will they attend? Of course, they won't attend. So I knew he was lying. I then called him and I said to him, I understand that you've been issuing statements which are not in harmony with what happened yesterday. But anyway, let's have a 1 week cooling period. We just need a 1 week. I'll talk to you next week. I'm actually in Harare. I'm very busy. When I come back to Bulawayo, I will then make sure that we can talk about this, which we agreed on those terms. And then the next thing, I heard that there were reports. He had made statements to the media. He had even recorded himself on an audio. So basically, he forced our hand. What could we do? So we had to act in that manner. So all these people that we recalled are people who have gone out of their way to say we are no longer members of the MDCT. In other words, you have no control over us. So if we have no control over councillors, then there is nothing. Like, for example, if a situation like a Luveve arises anywhere, how do we arrest it?
Okay, so I'm hearing your explanation. These people were recalled. You talked to them first before the recalls were done, and they said they are not members of MDCT.
Yeah, no. Let me clarify this. Except with few exceptions. Like, for example, I must be honest, with Beitbridge, I was on my way there. So I got that from the Matebe and South structure. So Beitbridge, maybe there could be something there. I did not speak to the Beitbridge guys, and they did not get the benefit of the doubt in this case, in which I'm very sorry. So I've sent a word there to say, if we took a position that is contrary to what is the reality, I am really willing to consider that, to reconsider our position as far as Beitbridge is concerned.
Okay, but did you see how much work the new mayor of Beitbridge was doing? I was following that mayor. He did a lot of good work. Was it not, is performance not one of the criteria that you're considering?
No, performance is a criteria. But I'm saying to you, I've given you a practical example of what happened in Luveve. Now, there are other more things that I can tell you, because I get called by different constituencies, by different groupings of people, and they say, this is our issue with council. And I'm able to call the mayor or call his deputy or any of the councillors and say, please attend to this. Now, if a councillor says, you no longer have jurisdiction over us, and then the residents call us and say, we want you to deal with A, B, C, D, because your deployees are lacking here and there. And then people say, no, you have no jurisdiction over us. We're not listening to you. We're free radicals. You understand that will be a collapse of governance. You do not expect us to be that irresponsible.
Okay, I totally get that. And I'm sure that we can always look at the comments. If someone wants to ask a question, we'll look in the comments. I want to quickly go to Bulawayo. The mayor of Bulawayo was not recalled. Does that mean he's supporting Dr. Thokozani Kupe?
No, it doesn't mean he's supporting Dr. Kupe. It means that he is a loyal servant of the people. He supports the Supreme Court judgment, which established democracy back, internal democracy in the party, which allows us to oil our machine again and make sure that we deliver for our people.
Okay, so he supports the Supreme Court judgment. That is what you say about the mayor of Bulawayo.
Yes.
Okay, and is there no tribal basis for the recalls in Bulawayo? I saw that there were complaints before from Bulawayo groups about certain people in council, and a number of them have been recalled. Was that a consideration?
No, but I've just told you the consideration. So I'm not sure why you need to go out and manufacture your own consideration. I have told you the consideration. The consideration is that people have said, no, we are now part of the MDC alliance. We now have what they call recall proof or strategy. We no longer want to be part of MDCT. And we wanted to show them that That's not how things work. Here we want people who are faithful and loyal to the calling, who are faithful and loyal to our people, who are obsessed not about politics, but who are obsessed about service delivery.
Okay. Mr. Phugeni, I'm only asking you questions that I'm picking from the comment section. So when I ask you a question, it's basically trying to address an issue that is going to arise. And I'm sure you've completely answered this question. Then I want us to go to Harare. New mayor, Jacob Mafume. Is he recalled or not?
No, I do not know. Like I said to you, we were being decent, abiding by that alliance agreement. But as you would know, in contract law, if one of the parties is in breach of the agreement, the innocent party, in terms of the remedies, has two options. You can either go to court and enforce the agreement or the terms of that agreement, or you can terminate. And at the rate they are going, I do not know, but I, for one, I'll be pushing in the standing committee that this agreement is just as good as dead, because the other party has breached it on several occasions. So why should we be bound by that? And we should be able, but we don't recall because of that. It will depend how His Worship Mayor Mafume is behaving. You remember last time here on your platform, I said we want him to succeed. That position still stands. We want him to succeed, because when he succeeds, Harare succeeds. And when Harare succeeds, the country succeeds. So we want him to succeed. But if he then wants to play politics, we will then have to make sure that the people of Harare, they come first ahead of politics.
Okay, I'm happy, and I had asked for 15 minutes of your time, and we've passed that 15 minutes. So I just want to quickly ask you one more question.
Okay.
Joanna Mamombe, she's one of the people that have said they've been abducted, and there have been stories that they faked this abduction. She openly said she supports Nelson Chamisa. Are you going to recall MPs, more MPs like that?
I think you are aware that Honorable Mamombe is in hospital right now. And consistent with my attitude and behavior and that of the party, one of our key values is solidarity. There's absolutely no basis, and there is no appetite on my part, on behalf of myself and on behalf of the party, to be talking about recalls and whatsoever about someone who's lying in a hospital bed. It will be extremely insensitive and asobuntulo.
Okay, because I think we need to clarify the criteria. If someone says they support Chamisa and openly says so, are you recalling these people, or you are making other considerations? There are many people who have said openly that they support Chamisa and they're not part of MDCT.
Yeah, look, I'm not sure if there is anyone who fits that bill that has not been recalled. If indeed there is that situation, I can tell you that the wheels of justice may seem to be turning very slowly. But as NC himself will tell you, the long arm of justice does eventually reach every one of us. So don't worry. There's a saying that says every dog has its day. So don't worry.
We've got an MDC Alliance vice president who is still in parliament or in Senate. We have senior people in Chamisa's party who are there, who are still not recalled.
But I've answered this question. I've just answered this question. I'm restricting myself from talking about individuals. I'm giving you a framework. I'm giving you a principle. And I've said to you, the wheels of justice may seemingly be turning slow or slowly, but very soon, and I can promise you not later, but very, very soon, you will see. You will see that justice eventually is served on all of us.
Is it not that some of them have secretly agreed with the MDCT that they are going to support the MDCT, but they're still maintaining their positions in MDC alliance?
Well, I do not know of such an arrangement. If I did, I would have made it publicly. We do not encourage that, by the way, because that's dishonest. And the politics of dishonesty doesn't serve the voter. You know that we have tried to be transparent as much as possible. Everything that is done, it must be transparent. So this nonsense of going behind the doors and then agreeing on some selfish arrangement, no, I will personally fight against it.
Right, Mr. Phugeni, I don't want to take any more of your time, and I would like to thank you very much. You spent almost an hour and a half with me on the weekend, and today you spend another 20 minutes with me, and I'm very sorry for taking so much of your time. I know that you're traveling all over the country.
Yeah.
Please give us an indication. When are we going to see the next decision on recalls?
Look, I must be honest with you. If you ask me, I wish the recall saga is completely over. Because it's not an easy decision, by the way. We don't sit down and enjoy and laugh over this. This is very, very painful. Remember, these are comrades. So as much as they are going to parliament to serve our people, but we know that some of them, they derive their livelihood from there. So trust me, some of the delays which you're trying to push me on right now, I think in a certain way they are informed by that. I know in one case there is one honorable member of parliament who's also ill. And while it's the province sent us the name to recall, and it was clear that no one with a clear conscience will recall such a person because the sickness is of a serious nature. So we just felt, no, we are not cruel people. We are not evil people. No one benefits here.
Right. Thank you very much, Mr. Khaliphani Phugeni, for joining me. And I want to end with a very nice comment. As usual, I end with a nice comment that someone is giving you. And this is from T. Riley. And he says, I like Phugeni. He needs to join the right party. And basically...
how is that a nice comment? I'm offended. But Kambakwe, on Saturday, you said to me 99% of your platform, they don't want me. What am I doing here? Really, if 99% people don't want me, why should we waste their time and my time and your time?
I just want to mention one thing. The information that you give us is official information. And everyone here, including MDC Alliance people, are here watching you because they want to see what the official position of the MDC Alliance is. So I'll always bring you here for the correct information and for the correct explanation.
So you won't admit that you just thumbsucked that there was no 99% because I had my people who were following. By the time you mentioned the 99%, they were on YouTube. I actually had over 70% people who said they want me there, they like me, and the ones who are against me were under 30%. So can you please admit that? Kambakwe, please.
It's because you were in MDC original. So all your friends are still there. You haven't lost your friends at all. You remember when we first started talking, I think that was during the Diaspora Vote Coalition. I was doing communication work for Memjuru. You were in MDC Alliance, the MDCT at the time, MDC. So you are a brother to all of us here, and people love you, man. People love Dr. Kupe. People love Chamisa. You guys are one person, and people just want you to get along. Yeah.
No, we'll fix this madness. I was happy to hear NC in that same funeral saying, look, all these by-elections, really, they are needless. And it's true, they are needless. Because if you look at it, elections they have actually shown us that they are not capable of solving the Zimbabwean question. They have not. So I'm not sure this whole obsession with so and so, whatsoever. I think we really need to look back at the founding objectives, values, and principles of the MTC. And if we can, all of us, at least converge around that, I'm telling you, you will have a very good government in this country in 2023. But the problem is that everyone is occupied with mudslinging and saying so and so is ZANU. So if you say I'm ZANU, like for example, some people say, hey, he's got money from ZANU PF. You know very well that sometimes the data I use here, you have to buy the data. So when people say I have money, I'm not sure what money they are talking about. I don't have that money. So it takes away the real conversation we must be having, because now I have to take somebody serious who's saying I've got ZANU money. I don't have ZANU money. ZANU has never given me money. If ZANU had given me money, I'm sure that Professor Jonathan would have already told you, because he knows everything that is happening in that part. I've never gotten money from ZANU. The little money I got from government was from my poll at work. It wasn't much, my friend, if you had to know. It was $150. For all the insults and all the abuse that I got from you, it wasn't much. So, really, I really don't know what we're all about as a country, but we need to find a way where we can begin to critique each other on the content of our character and our utterances, not this whole imaginary imposed views and characters of people. No, I have never gotten money from ZANU. I have never gotten money from the government except for the little work which I did at Pollard. And of course, government doesn't have money, so I was paid little because, you know, this government is struggling. That's all.
Right, Mr. Phugeni, I really appreciate you coming here. And I would like to thank everyone who's watching. Yesterday was my birthday, so for the whole day, I never got on Facebook or YouTube or WhatsApp. That was my only day of rest. So I want to say thank you, Mr. Phugeni, and you can always leave the stream now. I want to show the guys where I went yesterday, just a quick video. So Mr. Phugeni, it's fine if you were to leave the stream, and then I'll play this little video of where I went yesterday.
Thank
you very much, sir.
Cheers.
Cheers. Right, guys, 14 September 2020, and it's my birthday today. I decided to go out. So I'm here by Vilakazi Street. So I'm in front of the Mandela House. If you look at this house, this is what we call the Mandela House. So let's see what it looks like. It's looking beautiful, and unfortunately you can't see me when I'm like that. So this is the street where some of the most famous people who fought in the liberation of South Africa came from. So if you look down this road, so this is number 8115 Vilakazi Street, Orlando West. That one, that's Mandela's house, and it's closed right now because of coronavirus. But that is the house, the one that you're looking at there. That's Mandela's house, and there's a very neat look to this street. It's beautiful. There's no debt. It's a tourist attraction, and I'm really enjoying being here because I've never seen such a war-made place. It's beautifully made. It's nice. And look, if you look here, you can see it's a very nice street. This is where everything happened, and there's a lot of activities here. However, if you go down this street, down there, that is Desmond Tutu's house, and that is where we're going to go, after which we're going to go to Winnie Mandela's house. Right, so now I'm going to turn into Desmond Tutu's house. You can see the sign there, it says Tutu's house, and this is the street towards Tutu's house. And I'm going to go in there, and I am going to see what's happening. So this is Tutu's house behind me, and all these places are closed because right now it's coronavirus, and Tutu